And we back. G&Q Review. What's going on? Grant with our friend Patrick. Damn,
What's going on? Yeah, dude. We started a little later than expected because we're all kind of in this mood because we're excited. We got something coming up in our lives. We're looking forward to EDC. And you know when you're like excited for like something you're looking for, it's all you can talk about. It took us some restraint, some discipline to start this podcast.
Yeah, I felt
only
bad.
15 minutes late.
Yeah,
I put up the
Could have
link.
been
like,
longer.
We're live. Come out. It's like 15 minutes ago. Come hang out with us. So if you are tuning in now, thank you for your patience.
for clicking the link and refreshing for 15 minutes straight.
Like, when does it? It still says scheduled. What the hell? All right, so let's jump into it.
I'm gonna jump right in.
Yeah, what are we talking about today, Grant?
I don't even have this pulled up. Dave Chapelle.
Oh, and he's gone. He's gone. He said, "I don't have it pulled up."
He pulled himself out to pull it up.
He clicked on one of those wrong buttons. He's a boomer child.
He struggles with technology.
Oh, he's back. Look at Grant.
He
You've
looks
joined
shameful. That's a dog who might have chewed up some pillows.
All right, you know how like mouses have mouse buttons on the side? Well, mine, if you click it, it clicks back. And I was too excited, swung my mouse around, and
Where'd it
Okay,
take
Grant's really excited. We can. Tell.
we reviewed.
This is mustache dad energy.
Mustache dad. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah.
I almost want to like trim it a little bit, make it a little cleaner.
Why?
But I already had one person be like, "Dude, nice mustache."
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Like this.
And we were talking about it. Just like, yeah, people just like. I remember I had a mustache similar like in college, and no girl I talked to was a fan, but I would just be walking on campus all the time. It was like 3 times a day. Be like, "Dude, nice mustache."
Yeah.
it
Imagine
looks, like, comical.
kissing and then there's just all that hair going like into your nose. Like I would just sneeze. Like
Yeah. You want to kiss? You want to do this?
Want to kiss? It just
I'm
it
gonna
almost
pass.
doesn't look
Shave.
real.
Shaven, we might find out.
It's a broom, dude. It's like it's
I've
a
never
lot.
even.
It's thick.
I can't do it if I tried.
It was 2 months of beard. Like my beard was like half an inch to an inch, like added.
It looked
to
like
my
you had a
face.
sponge on your face.
Yeah, now it's just stash.
Yeah, you were looking a little homeless.
In a good way though.
In a good way. More like
Shia LaBeouf homeless.
Shia LaBeouf or like Survivor. Like you're on the island.
Not Survivor. That's not good.
Because you're not homeless.
Sorry.
You're on a game show.
Game show.
You're like
homeless, I'll
dirty
take
and
that.
you got like bandages.
Naked and afraid. It's one of those.
You're like homeless, but like being recorded.
Yeah. Like you still look presentable, but like a little scraggly.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you're on cops and you may be on PCP.
You just got pulled over.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a cop.
No, your vehicle's gonna
No.
be searched.
No, I thought it was
The
I
drug
thought it was
dog.
the cop.
This
Alerted.
Yeah, these are your like false sense of reality from the drugs. You're not the cop here, sir. Put the hands behind your back.
You're under arrest.
Citizens arrest.
Got him.
Yeah, I feel like I'm
Alright.
in between. When Quinn grows a mustache, it's like a charcoal
Likes
pencil,
Quinn's mustache.
light shading,
Mm-hmm.
And mine is just like a
In
average. Yeah, just
It's a
there's-
highlighter. Quinn's little pencil stash is a highlighter stash.
One day, guys. One day.
Well, this is in preparation for EDC. But anyways, I'm back. I did made a boomer moment, but to get back to announcing what we reviewed last week, it's Dave Chappelle's newest special, The Closer. It's a 2021 American stand-up comedy special written and performed by the one, the only comedian Dave Chappelle for Netflix. It's was recorded over the course of 7 sold-out performances at the Fillmore in Detroit, which I've been to. Have you guys been to the Fillmore?
No, how is it?
It's cool. I saw Sam Harris there. It ran from August 10th through August 15th, which is actually pretty cool because they turned it around in 2 months. It's pretty cool. Fact.
Probably not a lot they have to do.
It's the
record
closer.
show.
Well, sometimes they
Continue.
sometimes they record multiple nights and like
Right, and they stitch it together.
yeah.
I mean, like one dude could do that. Anyway, sorry.
Could you do it?
I'm derailing you, Grant.
The closer is Chapelle.
I'm sure
6.
Netflix can find like one person who can stitch together.
One of
some
their
videos.
employees are like, put it together. Let's go.
What do they even? I think they've got some
That's it.
experience.
This is the last
That's
special.
it.
The closer.
The closer.
Is it though?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
He said it's like his last until like
Then
people like respect him.
until he feels like coming back. Maybe it was a personal decision.
He's
Patrick.
just trying to. Sorry. Yes.
Wasn't
Were you
that
calling
supposed
on
to be assertive?
Patrick?
I felt like that
Yes.
was the teacher. Like, quiet
you
down.
start calling on
Sit
him.
the fuck down.
Patrick.
No. What did you think, Patrick?
It had its moments. It had its moments, but I felt like it was a little bit like he took a lot of stuff from Twitter personally, even though he was saying that Twitter's not a real place. And it felt like it was just kind of like him speaking to a very specific audience and being like the transgender community, and just kind of like defending himself, which is like fine, but like
Yeah, it was kind of, yeah, I never thought of it like that. But yeah, it was kind of like him like whining or complaining.
yeah,
Kind of like whining and complaining.
it didn't really feel like comedy. It felt more like an opinion piece that you'd read in like not a completely liberal media site.
With a couple of funny takes.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
mostly
You know,
just
some clever
talking.
one-liners. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was kind of my take.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I know Grant selected this due to its quote unquote controversy, and it's still in the news like right now, like weeks later. I think the protest, or I don't know, by like 10 Netflix employees. I think that happened today or something, or yesterday. There's some videos floating around of like, I don't know. There were more like publicists,
Like current Netflix employees.
current Netflix employees who are like
Are
staging
protesting.
walkouts. But it's like there are more photographers there than like actually people like protesting.
I thought. Well, I don't want to cut you off if you had
Oh,
a final point.
my final point, and I mean I can expand upon this later, but yeah, it just wasn't. I didn't see the controversy. I didn't really see the comedy. I didn't. It was kind of like. I mean, I'm never gonna go back to it, and I think Dave Chappelle's a really funny guy, and he does some really 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 great things that have had me dying, like bent over, like just unable to breathe. Funny
Literally,
things.
like in the hospital, Quinn's.
Yeah,
like,
in the
dying.
hospital. Dave Chappelle brought me. And this just wasn't it. I mean, it wasn't funny.
It wasn't it. I actually think I can see why this was controversial. I thought there was some just bad humor and bad phrasing, and just like it wasn't like so controversial and so offensive. It's just like in bad taste almost. You're like, okay, like yeah, I'm not gonna get upset about this, but like, I mean, it's just a little in bad taste. Like you don't have to. Let's see if I have any.
Well, the whole thing, I was like, oh, controversy. He's going to have a part in this special where he addresses LGBTQIA plus or whatever. But the whole thing was it. I was like, what? Can we move on to a new
yeah,
subject?
I thought it was going to be a piece. Yeah, I agree. I have a quote here. There's just like, this is an example of bad taste where it's not like that offensive, but he said like these transgenders, or like, I don't know, even saying like these whites or these blacks. Like, it's not like, it's just kind of in bad taste. Like these you're just grouping up and generalizing. I don't. It's didn't make me.
I feel like Chappelle's done that a lot.
That's I
yeah.
feel like that's all he does. He segments people into like radical groups and then makes fun of them for being ridiculous. You know, he does it about white people, he does it about black people, he does it does it about everyone. No one is off limits. He still calls women bitches. He said I'm going to be the leader of the feminine, like whatever group. All you gotta do is suck my dick.
Yeah, I don't, but I can see why. It almost felt like it's been a while since I've seen one of his specials, but it felt like the first, or maybe even it felt like he's outdated. It just felt like I wasn't thinking things were that funny, like even that like feminist movement like that. I'm pretty sure that joke's been told like 10 years ago. You know, like, you guys need a man to run the feminist. It's like that's your original comment. Like, pretty sure that was like, and the feminist movement is not really that like, I mean, the Me Too movement came like, the Me Too movement came like, that's probably the most recent part of the viral, I would say, like feminist movement. I don't want to like be insensitive here, but I was just curious, like the Me Too movement was mid 2018. That's 3 years from this. And like when feminism was super big and in the rise, I think was like
80s?
2014. No, I'm thinking like recent like Twitter feminism, what he was talking about was like even earlier than the Me Too movement, right? And so he's making this joke that's not that original, not that, I mean, it's funny because it's like, haha, like
it's
you're
cheap.
gonna piss them off. It's just bad. Yeah, it's not smart. It's not smart humor for someone like Dave Chapelle, and that was one of the only few jokes that it felt like in the whole thing. You're like, okay, so I felt like it was bad taste, and then I think it came around where like it shouldn't be bad taste anymore. Like you kind of understand his perspective, but. Yeah, I don't see the controversy.
It felt like he was trying to connect with the youth or whatever through like DaBaby. That was like the tying it all together, like for him, you know, like trying to make himself like with pop culture or whatever by just mentioning him. I don't know. That's what it felt like to me because everything felt outdated, and then DaBaby was like somewhat relevant.
Did you guys watch Sticks and Stones? The special he had like 3 years ago? Kind of the origin of a lot of this hate in the first place.
I think I did, but I don't remember.
That's when, didn't he mention the transgender woman?
Daphne
in that at the end of that special?
I think there's something. I don't remember a lot of the specifics, but I know I laughed a lot more. I thought, hey, this is funny as shit. B, these quote controversial jokes were only a section of it. It wasn't like didn't occupy the whole space. And I think it was just generally, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like, did it make you laugh or not? And I think that last one did, and this one didn't. And
it's been a long time since I've sat through a comedy special that I didn't think was funny. Like normally you don't like it's because normally you put it on, you're like, oh, let's try this out, and in 20 minutes you stop watching. Like we're reviewing it, so I'm just like, am I like not paying attention? Like, do I need to like smoke? Like, is my mindset not right? Like what? And it's just not. It wasn't funny.
Yeah, I tried to get my mindset real good.
I tried to.
I had probably one too many. There's a funny story. Celia and I went out to this local dive bar, and you know, I got one like a pint of something, and then the woman comes over and she was like, "Do you want another one?" And in my head, I was like, "Oh wait, I want to just wait 1 minute. I'm not sure yet. I want to make a decision." So I went, put my finger up. I said, 1 minute, please. But then obviously it's a loud environment. She's like, oh, one more. And then brought over another one. I was really confused. But
You gotta recreate it in your head.
yeah, it totally
From
makes
her
sense. I was like,
perspective, yeah.
one more.
You put your finger up.
Yeah, I put my finger up. I said, I want 1 minute, please. Like I'm in some fine dining establishment. But no, we came back and I was feeling good and I put it on and of course you're laughing at some remarks and it is so much different from being in a room, a physical room. It's like theater, it's like stand up, it's like a lot of art. I think being in the room adds another layer to it, but still I put on What We Do in the Shadows afterwards, and I was like, "This is fucking funny. This is great."
Yeah, it was just a little bit soapy. Like he just was on a pedestal and preaching a little bit.
Yeah, the special was he wanted to say. It's like he used the special as a medium to say something. Yeah, I don't think it was stand-up comedy. In a lot of ways.
It wasn't to create new twists or like, some sort of
Be
genius
smart
art.
comedy. Yeah, so then like while he's like writing what he wants to say, I think he threw some jokes in there, but really, the jokes were overused. I don't know. I totally agree with what you were saying, Quinn. It's like I did not think it was gonna be just about
Yeah,
transgender. Like what?
it's like they attached. I don't know, journalists. They
never
picked
talk-
out some
yeah.
things. They never.
And then
talked
you're
about
just
what-
kind of like you kind of realize that like 45 minutes in, kind of like
it isn't
Okay.
changing. This is it.
Well, he does reach a point where he like after like a preamble of like 35, 40 minutes, then he's kind of like, I had a friend, let me tell a story. And then you're
Yeah,
like,
it's-
okay, so we're sticking on this.
And it ends with that.
Yeah,
There
and
was
I
some-
get, I get his message is nice, but
It was
Did you
very
guys-
sentimental.
yeah.
Did you see any individuals in the crowd who were not having it?
I took a
did.
screenshot. I took a screenshot. Let me
That was-
see.
That was probably funnier than a lot of the things.
They were like,
They had
were
one
like-
had pink hair and the other had blue hair,
Yep.
and they were upset. Oh,
but
my
not
God.
only upset, they were making a point to like appear upset.
Yeah,
They're like, this is upsetting.
probably knew it was going to be. But I wonder what their thoughts were going in. Like, do they know? Oh, you thought I forgot about you, Mr. Sticks and Stones from 3 years ago. I'm gonna go see you front row and give you the stink eye.
Or they heard they lived in Detroit and they heard like, dude, this special.
Oh my God, we're going
Well,
with Dave Chappelle this weekend. Come on,
I guess they were
Linda.
sold out, so they. No, I was thinking maybe they heard that it was kind of controversial while it was being ran,
Oh,
and they got tickets, but it was sold out shows, so that was probably not the case.
And that was like direct. He was talking about the people who, I forget what the woman who like followed him to the parking lot who was like, you don't like women or whatever. And he's like, where'd you hear that? You didn't go to one of my shows. You didn't go to like you didn't watch my Netflix special. Like you just saw it like in something that painted me that way. But then you like see the people in the crowd that paid probably a couple $100 to see him.
That was a weird anecdote too, and you're like, it just kind of seems like it's kind of some boomer energy, He kind of seems angry at and he doesn't, I don't know. People are getting upset with his words, and he's like, fuck you, it just felt like, I don't know. Like I
Yeah.
said, in bad taste. Like it didn't really. It's like, okay, dude. Like, yeah, okay. So everyone else, I understand there is a point of going too far and being too sensitive. And I haven't seen Sticks and Stones, but based off of the title, I assume that was the subject matter. And that can be very funny to poke fun and make that absurd. But this time, it sounded like he was just complaining about times in his lives where people kind of hurt his feelings. And
And
you're
it's
like, okay, dude, like, yeah, I don't know, like, what do you want? Like, why are you putting this out here?
And he contrasts that by ending with a very sentimental, anecdote about his friend who committed suicide, potentially due to, words, and he's poking fun at groups, but then when it's targeted at individuals, he's like, that's not okay. He has
a special called Sticks and Stones, and then words can really do some serious harm.
Yeah, that's what so it's kind of like some cognitive dissonance. It doesn't really line up, I don't think.
Yeah, like people are like, I don't know. The other side of it is, the people's side. It's like, oh, these Dave Chappelle's being funny. These are jokes, which I thought was very true in that first special. Because I'm looking at like Rotten Tomatoes. You got like 35% by the critics and like 99% by the audience, and I was like, damn, I agree with that. Like that was funny. People are too sensitive, and this one I don't see the controversy. I don't see the bad taste really. It just wasn't that funny. But it's still got similar things. It's 43% critics, 95% audience. Like you want to stick up for, yeah, this one is. Right. But I don't know if it's just people like, it's kind of anti-woke movement. Like,
yeah, I
picked this side, not this side.
It's weird. I saw I was looking up some like Reddit threads and stuff, and people were like, yeah, this is like so this is like larger than life. He's tackling things that are just like concepts, and he's so great for like tackling these. And you're like, dude, it's a comedy show, it's not that funny. He's talking about empathy. Like, yes, I mean, empathy's not new. Being nice to your neighbor is not a new fucking like concept, right? And instead of having empathy for the woman in the parking lot who's kind of upset that you might have spoke bad about women, you like double down on it. That's not being very empathetic. Like, from where she's coming from, she might not heard like exactly, maybe she heard some false thing or is just quoting some things she heard online. But having human empathy for that person is being like, listen, I don't know what you heard, but I don't believe that I'm that, and I hope you can see that I'm not. And please watch my specials and try to look through that. I hope you have a good day. No, he like was an asshole about it. So that's not, like.
And if you're going to be he's got choices, right? If he's going to be an asshole, he has to be super funny about it,
Yeah,
and
people get away with that. And you're like, it's funny.
Yeah, like that, that's a hot take. Like, that's funny as fuck. Haven't really heard that before. Like, that's pretty original. Or you just have to make that like your whole persona and not end with a 20-minute sentimental personal anecdote about, your close friend who committed suicide due to online bullying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who you started a trust fund for her kid and whatever. I don't know. But like mixing it all up, I think it just leads to audience being confused and like, what is this?
Agreed. And I think one of my favorite comedians, Bill Burr, I think does a very good job where he sets up the audience and says something where everyone's like, what? Like, you're taking it back initially, and then he makes you laugh about it, where you're like,
yeah, the
there's
gold
no way
digging
he's
horrors.
saying that. Yeah, or one of my favorite things is when he talks about like women being crazy, like, or being like, women not always being right, and he'll be like, can't we just agree that some women though, like some women, like they're not all great, there's the crazy bitch that like, whatever, it's like they exist.
Grant.
No.
Do you hate women?
Exactly.
No,
and then
what?
And then he comes,
cool,
I'm no Bill Burr, but just talk about how the crazy lady who like slashes your tires, like that bitch is, she is probably the crazy one,
Yeah.
They're not all great.
Takes some skill to deliver it in a funny way.
Exactly.
Bill Burr does not miss. He like does, but he like does it all because he like stays true to his character. I feel like
He
too.
does.
I don't know
Wild.
But also I feel like he can be sentimental too. But like he's sentimental in a way that's like he's still an asshole kind of fucker.
He's sentimental and he's endearing because he says, what do I like? He's so self-deprecating where he's like, I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. Like, don't listen to me. I'm just fucking riffing. I'm like some dude from Boston, like
who's kind of an asshole.
Who's kind of an asshole. While Chapelle is like, I'm the GOAT. He literally said that. It's like, okay, dude, like,
I mean, he did win. I mean, I think he is. He might.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I had to
yeah.
pick someone, I'd
if
pick
he's
him.
the GOAT, this is falling pretty far from the fucking tree.
I mean,
Everyone falls off though. Everyone
have you ever
peaks.
heard an unfunny joke by Bill Burr?
Yeah, but
Never.
I mean, I listen to Bill. I like Bill Burr like through and through. Where like his podcast is literally him just rambling for an hour, and I think it's hilarious. Like he doesn't really say a joke, right? He's just his personality. It's like is funny.
It is weird to
Kinda
call
like-
yourself the GOAT in an unfunny special though.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's, and it's also just kind of like, you know,
I mean,
I don't
he-
even know how
I guess
many
he's-
times there's clips of LeBron saying he's the GOAT, right? Like him saying, "I'm the fucking." I hear people call me the GOAT. It's like, it's way
I mean-
cooler if you don't fucking say it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I'm not gonna knock him for that. I think he just won the. I mean, not just, but the last winner of the Mark Twain
No, I'm not-
Prize.
You're missing the point. Saying it is like just a little.
But he didn't say I'm the GOAT. He did it in a way where he's like, well, blah 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 blah, set up by what some people might call the GOAT. Just
I thought it was weak.
It was a little flex.
I thought it was weak, and it was for like an applause, and then he like paused for like an applause, and he was like, okay. From in any special, you know, it's like what Pat said. It's like it's an unfunny Rocky special, and you're calling yourself the GOAT, and then you're getting upset about comments, and then you're being an asshole. Yet there's empathy. It's like it all just didn't. That fit in the weird, just like kind of mess of the special.
I agree.
I'm gonna disagree on that, but I see what you mean.
It's fair.
Fair.
Asshole.
Got him.
Got him. No, if
You hurt my feelings.
you hurt my feelings,
You
I'm
don't
gonna
know me.
Make a YouTube video. Be like, hey, this is GQ review. I'm just gonna, Grant's been uncool lately.
Cancel.
There's a video that
The stash changed him.
We're gonna take a break for a bit.
while we
For
work
exactly
on,
1 week, actually. We're taking a break.
We're literally taking a break. If you
need
guys
to
get a
recover.
chance, you should check out this. Joe Rogan retweeted some video. I don't know that walkout did happen today at Netflix, and there's some pretty hilarious like people like coming to blows. It's worth a watch if you
Toss in
have-
the Discord.
All right, I'll toss it out. Maybe I'll shoot out a link or a screenshot of something on our IG too. But yeah, I don't know. I watched it right before the What We Do in the Shadows, and I was like, damn, this is way funnier. This is making me laugh a lot, and I'm inebriated. So, but I don't know. I miss stand up.
Did you guys ever watch the Chapelle show?
I've seen it. I've seen obviously clips and segments from YouTube, but I don't
Same.
think that was our time.
Some people go back and watch things, so I was just curious. Yeah, but no, yeah, same.
What were we 9 years old or something? Or 8 years? When is the Chapelle show?
I don't know. Some people have like watched that. Like I knew people in college who,
You went
Would
back.
watch
and you
that
watched
at night.
everything?
yeah,
Damn, original release was in 2003. Yeah, and now he lives in a little small town in Ohio.
Whispering Willow.
Yeah, that
or
was
whatever.
odd. Yellow
You didn't-
Springs or something.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
I thought he
Yeah.
lived in Dayton. Maybe it's outside of Dayton.
I think it is. Probably the
It's so-
Chardon of Dayton.
Maybe I just don't know Chappelle's
Munson.
like humor enough, but it's just like weird and abrasive to me too, where he's like talks about how he's moved there and he actually really loves the neighbors, and then he talks about the restaurants he's at, and they're a nice restaurant, but really they're a piece of shit. They're just Chili's. Everyone's a piece of shit where he lives. You're like, okay.
I thought that
He really hates white people.
Yeah.
I think in
I got
the
that.
other specials he talks a lot more about Ohio, and I was laughing when I watched it.
It felt relatable.
Yeah, it was like, All right. So I would just go back and watch anything else, Grant, if
I
you
will.
want a better idea. Because yeah, it's kind of turned into more this storytelling, social commentary, and less like setup,
Jokes.
punchline, joke. Here, yeah.
It's like you're walking into like an argument too. Like you like go to a friend's house and their parents are arguing, and you're just sitting there like watching it.
And then dad gets a zinger in. You're like, this is kind of funny.
Oh shit! But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't watch it again or recommend it.
No. I'm never coming back to this. There's no point.
No point. All right, Quinn.
Is it about that time, Grant?
It's about
It's
that
about
time.
The G&Q Patent Review, where we decide whether the true rating of Dave Chapelle, the closer, is over or under the IMDb
Under. What?
score.
Oh, sorry.
8.1.
Oh my God, 8.1.
Under.
Under.
Ready?
Under.
3,
Quickest
2,
unders.
1.
Under.
What is? Let's take a look at Sticks and Stones.
How many? How many?
Only 14,000, so it's not like a ton of people. Sticks and Stones is an
Wait.
8.5.
Do the gender thing.
Yeah.
Demographics.
Oh, let's take a look.
I'm be curious.
Women love it.
Men say 9.5.
8.1 versus 7.8. Only 780 females vote versus
780.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like the
actually
averages are actually
14,000.
The sample size is crazy though.
the 3 females under 18 have an average of 3 points. That's the only weird statistic.
Yeah. Whereas males have a 9.
Yeah, this is the first time I think I think we talked enough about it. I think it's under. It wasn't funny. I think you could just say under there.
It was just
not
a
funny.
special.
Yeah. But hey, Inside was just a special, or it was less comedy and more existential, and that was fucking phenomenal.
Did you see the controversy around that, Grant?
Yeah, you didn't fucking nominate for the Grammys. That's what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
I mean, whatever the comedy category, which
Yeah.
I would agree with.
I'd agree too.
It's not.
Agree with
It's
what?
not a comedy.
Wait. It's not a comedy?
Inside.
You guys didn't think that was a comedy?
I think he should be nominated and should win a Grammy.
All right.
What genre
well,
would you put it in?
It's tough. I don't
That's
know what
comedy.
I would put in.
Oh.
It's unique. It's one of a kind.
I think it's a comedy. He had a talking sock puppet. That's a comedy.
Yeah. Sacco.
I mean, like, sorry.
We
just
can't
listened
defend
to
that.
I
That's a
listened
fake
to the whole
call.
album. Like, I just started listening to one song, and then before you know it, I listened to the whole album again. I'm like, it's so good.
I mean, I think it's not
Was
a bad
this a
thing that
comedy?
it doesn't follow. This is
Tried to be.
yeah.
Was this a comedy?
This is stand-up comedy. Yes.
Okay,
Purest
so
form.
It's not very funny, but I would still put it. It's like putting
Make
things
Happy.
in buckets.
Make Happy. That's a stand-up comedy, no?
I don't even know if I call his stuff stand-up comedy.
it's kinda like performance
he's
art.
in his own realm.
Yeah.
Still
I agree with
comedy though, I'd say.
Yeah,
Makes-
sorry, he's so
He's so
innovative that
revolutionary.
He's bending the
Genre bender.
definitions of stand-up comedy. You know, sorry, Grammys. Yep, he's too good. Fuck the Grammys, anyways.
I'd walk out at the Grammys if I worked there for that.
Yeah, that's more controversial than this fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like if you take, it's weird. Now you got me thinking, Grant. If you take the collection of songs, I'm more inclined to say it's comedy. It's like a comedy
It's
soundtrack.
existential comedy.
But
Just because it makes you think and reflect throughout doesn't mean like white
just-
woman's Instagram. That's
It's
fun.
good
that's
comedy.
Grant's favorite
It's good
song.
kind. That funny feeling, you know. Welcome to the internet. It's all funny with The only reason why it's existential is it's just relatable. It's just like real. So it's funny and real now. So now it's not a comedy. Like what?
It's a
No,
pure
like I
form
said,
of
if
comedy.
It's like a
There's a lot of production and like atmosphere created in the actual special when you're watching it that would not lend itself to being like kind of considered a comedy.
What does that mean?
I think they're in the
It's-
songs as well.
In some of the songs too. It's tough. It's a unique piece. And
No,
maybe
I think
that's
every song, the reason why it's brilliant is every song is funny, yet still real enough that you're like, yeah, fuck.
I would not I'd have to go back. I wouldn't say every song is funny.
The ending song, I forget what it was, but where it's like him really singing into the mic. Like
The
Yeah.
I don't remember what.
All Eyes on Me or
Yeah, I don't think that's.
or the one after that, you mean?
It's the very last one.
yeah, it's the Kanye one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if that was. But I feel like that might have been the only one.
Yeah.
I don't
There was
know.
also
This isn't
kind-
the Bo Burnham Inside review, so I'd have to double
but
check my
it's
facts.
more interesting talking about Bo
than this
Burnham
versus the
than
Dave
this.
Chappelle.
We'd rather talk about something we all saw 6 months ago.
That was funny and enjoyable, and
Yeah.
still it was worth discussing.
A great comedy. We all agree.
Prediction: we will not talk about this 6 months down the road, and
No, but I would
delayed
like
ending
if
the
we ever hang
podcast.
out to watch an older Dave Chappelle special while having a couple cold ones. I think that would be a good time. And maybe
Yeah.
a chance for redemption in Grant's mind.
I like Sticks and Stones.
okay, I'll do it.
Don't stop. Yeah. Now I'm being picky.
That reminds me,
Pick
because
whatever.
I have another thing I have to watch. It was required. That was assigned to me. I have homework, but
You do have homework, and it's coming up on the due date, the deadline. And it sounds like you're a busy bee at work. So
I am. All right,
3 unders.
3 unders. That's it.
What are we doing next week, Grant?
Next week, next week, we're skipping next week. As we said, we're going to EDC. We are all excited about that. It's good vibes all around. Well, since you guys are avid fans of our podcast, I know you will remember that we recently watched a David Lynch film, Dune, which is I think 1984 off the top of my head. Anyone tell me if I get that right? Next week we are reviewing the 2021 Dune. So we kind of did
It
the
was
David
right.
Lynch.
1984.
Let's go. David Lynch was kind of a precursor because we knew this was coming out. This looks very exciting. We're gonna watch it. It's on HBO Max. Comes out tomorrow. And yeah, I think we're all looking forward to it. I am. I'm after watching David Lynch. It was a little rough around the edges, but it made me want to watch this one. I didn't.
And you
really
know all
know
the terminology and shit that's going on.
sand.
And it's dumbed down for like people now. I think Hollywood realized like people are pretty stupid.
They
so they
gotta
gotta make
explain
it very
everything.
clear. Yeah.
Superheroes and yeah. What's the dust called? What is it? What are they mining again?
Spice.
Spice?
Spice.
The sand. I need the sand.
What do the worms mean? The worms and the spice are the same.
Spice. Let the spice flow.
Yeah, I think I saw some worm riding in the trailer, and if I don't get any worm riding, I'm gonna be upset. It's automatic under.
Grant's gonna riot.
I'm gonna riot.
If I don't get any worm riding. It's a nice quote there.
It's kind of hard to say, isn't it? Worm riding.
Worm riding.
If no worm riding, I riot.
Yes. All right. Any last thoughts? Any closing thoughts on the closer?
Nope. Close it. Shut it like a book.
Shut the door.
Peace.
Yeah. Peace. Thank you all for listening. We will see you guys next week with 2021 Dune. In the meantime, please email us. Maybe you have a Dave Chappelle special you want me to watch. Please email us. feedback@gqreview.com. We also have social media. @GQReview is our handle for both our Twitter and our Instagram. You can like our posts there. You can slide into our DMs. You can be like, shut up, guys. The Closer was Dave Chappelle's best special. over.
it.
You should have gone over. Please slide into our DMs, comment on our post. We love all that. And we look forward to putting on another show for you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
Peace. See you guys.